Adopt Me Secrets. The Vault. Once lived a man called Martin. He was very rich. He had a big house, big car, lots of pets, and lots of servants. However, all his servants were interested in his money. So every night Martin would store his money in a vault. His servants didn't know about this. Apart from one servant called Jack. Jack had a night shift, so he saw Martin go into the vault every night. One day Martin was coming out of the vault. As he was walking out, he didn't see Jack hiding behind him. This was Jack's chance to get his hands on Martin's money. He entered the vault, but instead of seeing money, he saw something shocking. He heard footsteps behind him, so turned around and saw Martin standing there. Martin pulled out a strange-looking instrument and started playing a deadly tune. Jack screamed for help, but it was too late. No one knows what Jack saw that night. A shadow dragon called Envy turned into human. She could only turn back into a shadow dragon after she completes her task. Envy was an orphan. Her parents' death was a mystery. One day a rich couple called Lisa and James came to adopt Envy. They had two kids called Marcus and Luke. However, Envy hated them and would always try to get them in trouble. Soon James started loving Envy more because of how naughty the boys were. However, Lisa always had a bad feeling about Envy, but one day the family woke up to everything being gone, including Envy. There was a letter left that said trust no one. Suddenly the nursery lady came screaming in. She told them that Envy wasn't a child at all. She was a 50-year-old woman that had a growing disability, but it was too late. Their house started burning. Their house was on fire. Envy laughed as she turned back into a shadow dragon. What happened to the Adopt Me buildings? Part 1. The Nursery. The nursery used to be a very busy place. However, one day a new pet shop opened. It was placed right next to the nursery. The kids from the nursery would go to the pet shop every day to adopt pets. However, one day the pet shop added a new pet, the Bat Dragon. The Bat Dragon came from a place called Mystic Islands. Mystic Islands was filled with magical potions. However, these potions were filled with toxic viruses. When the Bat Dragon was brought to the pet shop, it was carrying a virus. A girl called Lucy from the nursery adopted the Bat Dragon. However, she didn't know she was about to get infected. She started turning paler and paler, till the point she disappeared. Soon all the other kids got infected by the virus too. One by one, they all disappeared. Ever since then the nursery has been empty. Killed the Adopt Me players. Part 4. Dr. Hart. Dr. Hart was found dead in her office. The cause of death was getting a harmful potion thrown on her. Let's meet our suspects. Nurse Me.
I was working all day. Dr. Hart was my mom. I would never kill her.
Archer.
I make coffee, not potions.
Anna.
I was selling children all day.
After hours of research, I found out who killed Dr. Hart. It was Archer. I never told the suspects that Dr. Hart died by a harmful potion, but Archer knows she did.
I can't believe you caught me. My bee was sick, so I took it to the hospital. When I came back, Dr. Hart told me my bee had died. I was so angry that I grabbed the nearest thing to me. and threw it on Dr. Hart. I didn't realize it was a harmful potion, but Dr. Hart started burning up. Then she died.
Who killed the Adopt Me players? Doug. Doug was found dead in the VIP room. The cause of death was choking. Let's meet our suspects. Bert.
I was making s'mores, so it couldn't be me.
Anna's brother.
I was in the park this whole time, so I couldn't have choked Doug.
Nurse Me.
I was in the hospital this whole time.
After doing lots of research, I found out who killed Doug. It was Anna's brother. I never told them how Doug died.
Fine, it was me. I went to buy a cracked egg from Doug. I really wanted a dragon, but Doug said it depends on your luck. I was annoyed, but I took the egg and completed its need. Its last need was to feed it, so I went to the VIP room for food. However, I saw Doug there too. I fed my egg, but it hatched into a dog. I was so angry that I put the dog into Doug's mouth, and he started choking to death.
Who killed the Adopt Me players? Part 2. New Fissy. New Fissy was found dead on the ground. The cause of death was falling. Let's meet our suspects. Doug.
I went on a walk with my dog. We were in the park the whole time.
Holly.
I went swimming. I never went to the Sky Tower.
Elsa.
I was ice skating. I can't believe New Fissy died.
I have got the suspect's statements, and after doing a lot of research, I found out who killed New Fissy. It was Holly. I never mentioned where New Fissy fell from, but Holly knows he fell from the Sky Tower.
Ugh, you caught me. I was buying a fly potion for my cat until I saw New Fissy. I asked him if he could add more cats and to adopt me, but he said no and went off to go bungee jumping. I got so angry that I followed him, and I cut off the rope, and he fell to his death.
Who killed the Adopt Me players? Anna. Anna's body was found underwater. The cause of death was drowning. Let's meet our suspects. Ramsey.
I was cooking pizzas. I hadn't left the pizzeria at all.
Rich.
I was testing out my new boat until my boat hit something. It was Anna's dead body. I immediately reported it to the police.
Bonnie.
My fish drowned that day, so I went to its funeral.
After doing lots of research, I found out who killed Anna. It was Bonnie. Fishes can't drown.
Fine, it was me. As I was sailing my boat, I saw Anna. She asked me if I could drop her off at the nursery. I was busy, so I said no, but she forced herself on. I got angry and pushed her off, and she fell into the water, but she couldn't swim, so drowned.
What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 15. Pet Trainer Shane. Shane had a school where he would teach pets tricks. One day a customer asked Shane to train his dog. The customer was meant to collect his dog before 8 p.m. However, after Shane taught the dog some tricks, the customer never came back. It was getting late, so Shane decided to keep the dog overnight. But 3 minutes before midnight, the dog started acting weird. He kept barking for no reason. When Shane came to check on the dog, it had its back turned. Shane thought he was hungry, so went to bring him some food. However, when he returned back, instead of an innocent dog, a dog with 3 heads was standing there. Shane was just about to run for help, but the dog pounced on him. After that night, the dog and Shane disappeared. However, some people say you can read what happened that night on this very whiteboard. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 1. Anna. Anna was a young orphan. Her parents died in a house robbery, but she was able to escape from the back window. She was brought to a nursery, so she could get adopted. 5 years had passed until a lady was looking for a child. She saw Anna and immediately fell in love with her. However, another lady wanted to adopt Anna instead. She reminded her of her dead daughter. This lady was crazy though. Anna got adopted by a lady called Jessie, and the crazy lady begged to have her instead, but Jessie said no. The crazy lady got angry every dot as so unscrewed the wheels of her car. As Jessie was driving, the wheel of her car came off and it crashed off the bridge, leaving Jessie and Anna to drown. They built Anna's statue so people can remember her unfortunate death. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 2. Nixie. Nixie was her parents' favorite child. They would treat her better than her sister Daisy. One day they both were walking from school when Nixie saw a cave. She wanted to go inside, but was too scared to go alone. She asked Daisy to come with her, but Daisy said no. Nixie kept teasing her, to the point Daisy ran back home. Nixie decided to go in .by herself, but recorded it to show her friends how cool she is. She sent the recording, expecting her friends to be impressed, but instead they told her to immediately get out. Nixie was confused, but quickly tried to get out of the cave. It didn't open. The last thing she saw was neon lighting before she disappeared. Legend has it that the cave makes pets neon. 1,000 years later, it turned out to be true. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 4. Ramsey. Ramsey always loved to cook. He had recently gotten fired from his old job, so he started looking for a new job involving cooking. He found a job at the pizzeria. The owner liked him and gave him the job, but a guy called Blake also wanted it. He was so angry and tried everything for Ramsey to get fired, but it never worked. Then one day Blake had a wicked idea. He was going to bring Ramsey, as Ramsey was cooking for his next customer. Blake added poison into it, hoping Ramsey would get the blame. However, Ramsey decided to taste the pizza first. Blake was shocked, but happy. Ramsey dropped to the floor. He was dead. Blake got scared that he may get caught, so ran away. Legend has it that Ramsey haunts the pizzeria and poisons people from time to time. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 5. Nurse Nee. Nurse Nee was a good nurse. He took care of his patients very well. One day a new patient arrived, and Nurse Nee was assigned to take care of her. Her name was Leah. He treated her very well. However, Leah was a bit weird. Every night she would sing the same song. The song was creepy, and even creeped out Nurse Nee. She also would randomly call for help when she was absolutely fine, and every day she would repeat the phrase, "They are coming." Nurse Nee never treated her differently though, until one day, Leah asked for a drink. When Nurse Nee asked what type of drink, she replied with blood. Nee got scared and tried getting out of the room, but the door wouldn't open. A few minutes later they were both reported missing. Legend has it that you can see what went on that day on this TV. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 6. Rich. Rich started off as a homeless man. His real name was Richard, Rich for short. One day Rich got asked to participate in a money game. It was called Squid Game. Rich ended up winning and got the prize money, $1 million. He opened up a shop, a pet shop. However, he had so much money left, so decided to open up a car shop too. His business was very successful, until one day, the police broke in and arrested Rich. He had played an illegal game. Squid Game would get the players to play games the losers would die. Rich had participated in Squid Game, therefore he was arrested, but he escaped from prison and tried to hide. He hid in a shop, but he could not get out. The police never found him, and Rich was stuck there forever. He starved to death. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 8. Santa. It was Christmas Eve. Santa put all the presents on the sleigh, but he had forgot a snack for the journey, so went back inside the workshop. Meanwhile, an evil fairy decided to curse the sleigh. She wanted to ruin Christmas. The present turned cursed too. Santa got on the sleigh and started to travel to houses, but as he was going to the 116th house, the sleigh crashed into the ocean. However, 3 presents fell out. Everything else drowned. A girl called Holly found the presents. She opened the first one. Out came pet toys. She opened the next one. Out came pet wear, and she opened the last one. Out came a pet egg. The fairy's curse somehow managed to bring pets to Adopt Me. This is how the pet egg was made, and the gifts now have the things that they had inside before they were cursed. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 9. Holly. Holly decided to go on a walk one day, but all of a sudden she realized she was lost. She was in the middle of nowhere until she saw a cemetery. It was filled with graves. However, there was a strange-looking one at the back. It belonged to a girl called Jenna. Jenna was an evil person. She used to hack and kill people, but one day someone murdered her. The killer was never found. It was getting late, so Holly decided to sleep there for the night, but when she woke up, she felt different. Instead of going home, she went to Jenna's old house. She then changed her outfit. She looked exactly like Jenna. She drowned her cat. She was so evil. Jenna's spirit had entered Holly's body as she was sleeping. Holly was now Jenna. Holly left Adopt Me, but has been spotted hacking people on other games. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 10. Dr. Hart. Dr. Hart was a doctor. However, she wasn't a real person. She was a robot. The only way she could turn into a human was to have a human heart. She really wanted to be a human, but didn't know where to get a heart from, until one day a patient needed surgery. This was the perfect opportunity to steal their heart. However, as she did the surgery, she didn't notice the nurse at the back. Dr. Hart grabbed the patient's heart and replaced it with her metal one. Dr. Hart slowly transformed into a human. The patient died. Dr. Hart was a murderer. The nurse saw the whole thing and was shocked. She immediately told the police. Dr. Hart got scared, so ran away. She tried to hide, so hid in a campfire. Robots can't die, but she forgot she wasn't a robot anymore, and she turned into ashes. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 11. Sir Whoopington. Sir Whoopington was a chocolate Labrador. His owner was called Bert. It was Bert's birthday, so he decided to go on a walk. All of a sudden, he saw Welly. Welly was the most famous wizard in Adopt Me. Bert was a huge fan, so Welly invited Bert to his cottage, since it was his birthday. But this was a big mistake. Bert explored the place and started playing around with all kinds of potions. Welly warned him not to do that, but Bert didn't listen. He grabbed a potion called Pet Swap. Welly was getting angry, so to distract Bert, he asked if he would like a drink. Luckily, Bert got distracted and said water. Welly got him the water. However, the water and potion looked so similar. Without realizing, he drank the potion. He switched bodies with the nearest pet to him. Bert is now the dog, and the dog is Bert. That's why the dog can speak. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 13. B-Think. B-Think and New Fissy were the owners of Adopt Me. They were also great friends. However, B-Think had a secret. He always wore this red ribbon. He would never take this ribbon off, not even in the shower. New Fissy was always curious as to why B-Think always wore this ribbon, but B-Think never told him. New Fissy kept asking him, but B-Think's reply was always, "I will tell you when it's the right time." One day New Fissy had enough and decided to investigate. He He sneaked into Think's house and went into his room. Think was sleeping. This was new Fissy's chance to find out the truth, so he slowly untied the ribbon on his neck. However, new Fissy was left horrified as Think's head fell off. Think wasn't a human, he was a toy sewn together, so they put his statue in a toy shop. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 14. Elsa. A new ice cream shop had opened. It was much different than the other shops in Adopt Me. Only workers were allowed in. However, nobody had seen anyone come out. One day Elsa decided to buy some ice cream. She went to the new ice cream shop. She ordered strawberry ice cream, and the ice cream appeared on the footstep. She started eating it until she bit into a piece of paper. The paper said,
You have been selected to enter the ice cream shop. Please step forward.
Elsa did as it said and she entered the ice cream shop. However, she was shocked. The ice cream shop was filled with penguins. Suddenly a golden penguin approached her.
You're so stupid for entering this shop. You must work here for 200 years. If you fail, you will turn into a penguin.
Elsa had no choice but to work there forever. Legend has it that the other penguins are failed workers. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 14. Archer. Archer worked for the royal family. He would make them tea and coffee every day. However, a man called Bert was jealous of Archer. Bert also worked for the royal family. He sold s'mores. However, Bert was their least favorite worker, and Archer was their favorite, so Bert asked Archer to switch jobs. He said no and Bert was furious. Bert decided to get the job himself. He let out his swarm of bees into Archer's coffee shop. Archer ran for his life. This was Bert's chance to claim Archer's spot. However, the bees kept chasing Archer. Archer jumped into a river since bees don't like water. However, he couldn't get out and drowned. Bert felt so guilty and decided to return back to his shop. However, ever since then, he started speaking funny. People say it's because he is consumed with guilt. What happened to the Adopt Me players? Part 7. Anna's brother. Anna's brother is called Luke. Anna and Luke were very naughty. They never listened to their parents. One day a new murderer came to Adopt Me. The whole of Adopt Me went into lockdown. No one was allowed out. However, Anna and Luke wanted to go to the park. When they asked their mom, she said no. Anna and Luke ignored her and decided to sneak out. As they were walking, Anna saw someone near the bridge. It was a man. She got scared and ran away, leaving Luke by himself. Luke was confused when suddenly the man grabbed Luke. It was the murderer. He dropped Luke off the bridge. Luke was never seen again. Anna lied to her parents and told them Luke ran away, but they eventually found out the truth, and this sign was built: "Don't throw kids off the bridge."